Every mess in your home is a choice. Check this out. We don't avoid chores. We avoid the emotions that precede those chores. What's one chore you frequently delay, even though it takes only a few minutes? By the way, for our audio-only listeners, before we get into that, TK, we just watched a video. There's this woman who, she shows that the smallest tasks often create the biggest resistance. She delayed making the bed for 10 hours, but then she realized that she can make it in less than 2 minutes. And then she folds her laundry in 14 minutes instead of waiting 2 days, letting them sit there for 2 days and piling up, and I'll just get to it later. I'll procrastinate. And then she breaks down her cardboard boxes in 90 seconds instead of waiting 3 days for breaking them down. So I ask you, is there a chore that you frequently delay, even though it takes only a few minutes?
Are phone calls a chore?
Yes.
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 That's it.
Tell me about that.
Any and every phone call that I need to make is one that is hard to do. It just feels like more of a time suck than anything else I could be doing.
Wow.
There are very few things I would place above making a phone call in terms of...
My colonoscopy is up there.
Yeah, yeah. But man, that's a tough one because I got to make a phone call to get to do it.
If there's an app to schedule the colonoscopy, you just go for that, just to avoid the phone call with me.
You got to go to the doctor, or you're gonna die. Like, I got to call him. Hey man, I'm out of here.
I have that same allergy, but it's back in I worked in telecom back in the day, and my bill every month this is back when you had to you have rate plans where you had a certain number of minutes. I would have 5,000 to 7,000 minutes a month. And so there's only 44,000 minutes in a month. So that's how much time I was spending on the phone, just calling employees and stores and vendors. And I was just on the phone all day. And so I think I just developed this allergy to speaking on the phone. Although there are a few people whom I really enjoy speaking. You're one of them. Even when we do voice memos back and forth, just 2 days ago, TK sent me a 10-minute voice memo. It was like a podcast. Stay tuned to the end of this episode. I'll put it up. Just kidding. I wouldn't share that. But it was, and I look forward to it. And for the average voice memo, I'm like, oh no. But I know how considerate TK is, but I think also we have these conversations. But you're right. There's something about the act of, it's the synchronous communication that doesn't always work. The asynchronous works a lot better in many instances.
Yeah, because I don't have the same problem with voice memos. And you know what? I also don't have the same problem with taking a walk. I would much rather take a walk with anybody that I know. Well, we can go take a walk for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's something about being on the phone that just feels like it's kind of the point of what we're doing, but it's also kind of not. It's kind of, there's something about being on the phone that feels very half-ass.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing what we should be doing when we take a walk.
Yeah.
But we're not fully into that. And so it's kind of like, all right, I'm just always tempted to be like, okay, I need to
real quick,
make some coffee while we're on the phone. I need to put you on speakerphone and make some coffee because I need to be doing something, right? And if it's on Zoom, now I'm itching because I can't do anything and I'm held hostage by having to look at you on the camera. Can we just take a walk? Maybe I'll hold my phone up like this, but what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, it's just tough for me.
I'm glad you said that because I now make my phone calls. It makes me less allergic to it when I go out on a nature walk, the meadows by my house, which you've been to in Ojai. There's all of this J. Krishnamurti land up there that it's miles and miles of trails. And thankfully, there's some cell reception there. And so if I went to go make a a phone call, I do it while I'm walking, and it makes it feel like less of a burden. But when I saw this video, I was like, I don't struggle with any of that. Look at this lady. She's struggling with making the bed. I make the bed first thing in the morning. Yeah. And then like, what about folding laundry? No, I don't ever let laundry pile up. I don't want it to get wrinkled. I fold it right away. And then the cardboard boxes, nope, I deal with that immediately. I must be an expert minimalist. And I was like, well, wait a minute. No, there are plenty of things that I do the same way. It may not be the laundry or the making of the bed or the boxes, but I got to thinking, what do I put off? What do I delay because it just might take a few minutes?
Hey, real quick, the Minimalists are on tour and we're coming to a city near you. You can find all the details on our website. The link is in the description.
And there are a few things. I looked around my house. Cleaning the baseboards, man, I would rather give blood by being punched in the face repeatedly than clean the baseboards. Who invented baseboards that have this little layer of dust that collects on top of it? And what happens is it just drives me crazy for a week or 2 weeks. And eventually I get down there and it takes a minute in each room, 2 minutes in each room. It definitely doesn't take 14 minutes like it does for the laundry. But yeah, let's say you spent 14 minutes folding the laundry or 14 minutes cleaning the baseboards. I call it the 14-minute rule. Wouldn't that be so much better to just spend 14 minutes now than to neuroso over it for days or weeks? Here's another one for you. Besides cleaning the baseboards, it's adjacent to it, dusting. Dust drives me crazy. And so there are two things I do to not have to dust as much. One is own fewer things. Two is just go ahead and spend the 14 minutes or the 2 minutes to dust off the items that bother you the most. And I'm fairly tall, and so I can see on top of everyone's refrigerator. You wouldn't believe how much dust is on top of your refrigerator, TK. I haven't even been to your house, and I can guarantee, like, no one sees it, and so it's
like the top of the fans, right?
right. You just don't see it. But dusting for me, I put it off until and then it bothers me for several days or a week. This just happened to me yesterday. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to clean this off. And it took me, there was a table that I needed to dust. It took 30 seconds. It was nothing. I made a big deal out of literally nothing. And the last thing is another one that's about 14 minutes, mopping. I just don't like mopping. For whatever, I always paint myself into the corner. I guess mop myself into a corner. And maybe part of it is I'm just not good at it, but then there's like the solution and for whatever reason. And it doesn't take me more than 14 minutes to mop the entire house. It's not a big house, 1,500 square feet. But the less frequently you do it, the longer it actually takes to do it. And now I have to go mop again because it's still dirty. And so, yeah, there are several things, and I think it extends beyond those household chores. For me, some of the things that I really enjoy doing, all the meaningful activities that are more difficult than scrolling, like exercising or writing or reading. I do those things every single day, but it is much easier to just grab my phone and start scrolling. But spending 14 minutes writing, is that the appropriate amount of time? Well, I'd like to do more than that, but it's better than spending 14 minutes scrolling. At least it is for me. And I would say the same is true with reading or with exercise.
Yeah. You make me think of your earlier story about the wasabi peas.
Yeah.
And we all have experiences early on where we acquire a bad taste. Something just leaves a bad taste in our mouth. For some of us, it might be making the bed, cleaning the baseboards, whatever it may be. And when we can get ourselves to do it, we realize it's not that bad. It truly isn't that bad. And the result is very rewarding. But there's a bad taste that came from somewhere. And unpacking that and getting to the root of our resistance can help make life easier in so many ways. There's so many things we'd be rewarded for doing. But we let the wasabi peas drive us away.
Yeah. And then you realize that when you clear the dust, you clean, you handle these things that feel like chores, you're actually letting go of the emotions that we've tangled into those chores as well. And it makes me realize that a messy house is a choice, ultimately. And yeah, sometimes the things we do will make a house messy. We got Tomcat here today. Part of what she does with her embodiment sessions is making a mess, but it's a beautiful mess, right?
What a mess.
What a mess. But then she cleans it up at the end of it because the mess serves a purpose until it doesn't.
I hope you enjoyed that highlight from the Minimalist Private Podcast. If you'd like to see another one, click here. If you'd like to check out the minimal episode, click here. Or if you'd like to dive deep into the full maximal episode, check out our Patreon. The link is in the description.